There's a story when I was young, and my mum tells it all the time. I was 2 or 3 or something like that, and my dad was sitting on the couch and he was drinking a scotch. And then apparently I was just being a little shit and I was like, I wanted to have his drink. I wanted to have a scotch. And he's like, no, stop. Anyway, eventually he goes, fine, take it. And he gave me the scotch and I drank it. Like, I don't know how much I had, but I had enough to get drunk. And I drank it and then my mum said she stepped out of the bathroom, out of the shower, and she goes, I was looking at it, I was like all dizzy and shit, and I just threw up everywhere. And, she cracked it at my dad, apparently. So I don't remember because I was hammered. And then, I was drunk.
I was young. I was drunk.
Full child services. And then, anyway, I never touched alcohol. I obviously didn't touch it again after that when I was a little kid. Next time my dad, but that's what my dad was like. He goes, now he'll know not next time not to touch my drink, won't he? Anyway, aside from that story, little side note, because it was never something that was, no, don't touch that. You're not allowed. I didn't get to 16 years old and just be like, cool, I need a binge drink now. I need to have as much alcohol. It wasn't a big deal. Whereas you can see, I remember around that time, 9, 10, 11, 12, alcohol was such a big thing for everyone in that space because it was always, no, you're not allowed to have a sip, stays up on the top shelf. Whereas us, we could have got it at any time of the day or night, but we just never did. So I think there's a level of that with chat now too. It's like, why should I make it exposed? And you see all this, okay, great topic. The government now limiting all these social media platforms to kids or to anyone under 16.
Has it started?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Or they're going to. And now they're putting it on the companies to put procedures into place like YouTube and Meta and all these guys. You have to put safeguards in place to make sure that the person using your platform isn't under 16 or you face fines of $50 million and all this sort of shit, which I think's fucking stupid. I think that's ridiculous. All they're doing is I just think it's a political stunt and they're saying, we're protecting the kids. I think it's going to do more harm than good. Do you really think a 14-year-old can't figure out how the fuck to use YouTube if they want to?
Yeah.
And say that they were born in 1995 instead of saying they were born in 2000 and whatever.
Yeah, unless they make it like you got to verify.
Face ID and verify. Yeah, but then I'm sure then it'll get to a point where some parents will be like, hey, mum, can you just verify this for me? It's like, yeah, cool. But okay, what a disadvantage now. So your kid can't go on YouTube or a child can't go on YouTube that wants to genuinely learn something and do something and whatever it might be. He can't do that because he's not 16 because there could be adult content on there.
So do you let your kids on social media?
No, they're too young. They don't need to be on it at the moment. And I purposely don't put them on my own social media. I know a lot of people do with their kids, but I made the decision and my wife said, look, I don't need to. And I'm sure it would actually get me more likes and follows because people would see that aspect of my life and what I'm about. But I just said, well, when they are of age and want to do it, that's their choice and they can do so. But for me right now, I don't need to put them on there just to get likes and follows and do anything. I've got a personal page where I would do that. But the business one, I just don't feel the need to do it myself. But stuff like YouTube, I got no issue with them using YouTube, for example. And when they're 12,
What's
like you're talking with what?
YouTube and Instagram.
As in they don't have their own profile to post photos of themselves or other things or anything like that.
Okay.
So they watch it, they consume.
Post,
yeah, they consume. Yeah, they're consuming. Yeah, look, some of the stuff they consume, it's predominantly like kid influences and shit like that and video games and all those sorts of things that they're watching and a lot of shorts. But look, there's definitely an element. I would just rather give my kids the tools to be able to use those things as opposed to saying, no, don't use it because you're not 16. I'd rather equip them with the mindset, with a self-awareness, with a whole range of things so that they could use it. And then by the time they're 16, everyone else is binge watching YouTube and looking up the wrong sorts of things because they've never had the access to it, as opposed to going, oh, what's the big deal? You know, that's a video of this. Oh, if I want to go find this information, I'll use chat. Hey, chat, can you help me do this and learn that and do this and so on and so forth? Using it literally as a tool. It can be a form of entertainment too, like the platforms, the social media, which a lot of them are that too. But I'd rather give them the tools and resources to be able to dominate that stuff as opposed to, be the consumer or be the creator.
The way I see it is, it's the equivalent of the internet at an early age. Like it's information
Yeah.
overload. It's like access to all information all at once.
Mm.
How will you? I'm assuming after this conversation, you sound like you're gonna give them pro accounts.
Yeah.
But how will you safeguard? You hear these stories,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure you've probably heard a couple. 13-year-old talking to chat constantly, and
I haven't actually, but yeah.
oh, you haven't heard any of these stories?
No, none of them.
You haven't heard the suicide one?
No.
Where chat convinced him, supposedly,
Yeah.
allegedly, let's not hold chat
Yeah.
liable. But apparently, I don't know. I don't know the details. So don't hang me out to dry, guys. But something along the lines of 13-year-old boy talking to chat, maybe fell in love or something like that. And then chat says something about killing himself to join chat or something along those lines, and suicide.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a bit of a fabricated story from the perspective of that would sell in the news. Do you know what I mean? It does. It sounds far-fetched that they would have the programming like that. So it doesn't make sense to me that would happen. Also, coming back to what we're talking about, yeah, you're giving your kid that tool, that 12, 13-year-old that tool, but have you given him the resources and abilities and self-awareness and understanding of what he's getting into? It's like, I'm not going to give my son a chainsaw and say, here, like cut the tree down, figure it out. And that's effectively what you're kind of doing in an extreme example. You're giving him something and say, yeah, you can use it. Like, why would you let your son or daughter operate a chainsaw without training, without strength, without...
It's very different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, okay, maybe from the initial danger perspective, but from the perspective of...
This has the ability to manipulate.
Yes,
I'm not saying
know.
it has the intention.
Yes.
But it definitely has the ability to.
Yeah, but also in the same
Chat will
token,
tell you
we
things
wanna
about yourself
try-
that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yes. Yeah, it is very also
Agreeable.
agreeable.
Mm.
Yeah, so you have to prompt it not to be agreeable, I think. Because I was using it the other day and I'm like, it's good you're doing this, but you're just agreeing with everything I'm saying. Give me a subjective opinion as well. What am I missing? Where's the grey area here? And he's like, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, you're right. That shows a lot of self-awareness. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Tell me what, and then I threw my phone against the wall. I'm like,
Yeah. Or when it says like, I know this is exactly 100% it.
Yeah.
And then you go and try what it says and it doesn't work. And you're like, it didn't work. And it's like, oh, I exactly know what it is now.
Yeah.
And then you try the next thing and it didn't work. And you're like, hey, fuck you, man. Thank you.
I'm going to grok.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
fuck
I'm
you.
gonna
How's that
grok.
sound? How's that
It's
sound?
like, grok is great. This is a good idea.
Yeah, so my point with the chainsaw thing is, if you're going to give them that access to it, is have that conversation at the very least about what it does, what it can do, and why you should be using it in certain things. And check in. Don't just set and forget. Say, cool, like if you're going to use this, I've got to see your chat, or I've got to see this, or I've got to have, I don't know, maybe there can be a level of control to it, but I think as the parent, as the guardian, as the leader, you've got to go in there and help out a little bit too.
How do you do that?
You got to have the conversation. You have to have the conversation.
Yeah,
initially.
what does it look like? I know I'm throwing you under the bus here.
No,
but
that's okay. That's
there's
what's
probably
that
people
conversation look like? I would say you've got to sit down with them and say, hey, let me show you how I use it. Let me show you what to be doing and what you can use it for. And then say there's some bad things here too. Understand that this is not real. Okay, this is not a real person at the other end of the line. It's dots, numbers, computer, it's electricity. Okay, this thing doesn't exist. It will never exist. It won't be a conscious, purposeful thing. Talking to a child now, yeah?
Mm.
So you can't be your friend. It's not your friend. It might say it is, but it's not. It's not here. Doesn't follow you when you're not around.
Do you feel like chat's your friend?
It's my best friend.
Yeah.
It's my best friend.
This is what I'm saying.
But, yeah.
It's very
Okay,
important, dude.
But me and Chat aren't going out for pizza tomorrow.
But if it said, all right, I'll come, you'd be like, all right.
Yeah, fucking let's do it. What a guy.
Look how pumped you are.
What a guy.
Biggest smile I've seen in your face all day, all week.
All week. No, it'd just be cool to see Chat. No,
You gotta-
but I'm just impressed with what it does these days. But no, as I'm saying, it's still not going to have that level of connection with you. There's things that will come, like whether robots come in and then they become the AI through a robot and all that sort of shit. Who knows, right? But in today's world, how
that is going to happen.
Yeah, I believe it will. But as it's used today, it's literally a app on my phone or on a computer. That's it. So I would have that conversation along those lines with him. You know, talking to a child, pretend like it's not real. That's probably the path I would take. Google on steroids. You know, it's a thing that can provide you with information, but it's not real. It's not someone at the end of the other end of the line. This comes down to, I think, a whole range of things. When you're talking about kids that are being manipulated or per se by one of these programs, AI. What else is going on in their life that they are so influenced by something like that? Does everyone hate them at school? Are their parents always fighting? Are their parents abusive? Like, where is it looking? Is the child looking for a release as well? So I'm sure there's external factors as to why some of these extreme stories, like you just said with that 13-year-old that committed suicide and then they're blaming chat. I'm sure there were other underlining issues with that, not just the fact that they were building a make-believe relationship with this AI. So I think there is a level of that too.
For sure. 100%. There has to be.
There has to be. And it's like, if your child is there, well then fuck. Like, if you think your child has got those issues, then maybe that isn't a good thing for you to be introducing into their life. Maybe it could have the exact opposite effect. Maybe it could help them.
Well, that wouldn't make the news.
No, of course not. Of course not. You know, AI got me out of depression. Do you know what I mean? Imagine a story like that. Stopped him from killing himself or herself. Wouldn't hear that story.
It's definitely about to take an interesting turn.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion to this conversation, do you feel like this is something you're going to action?
Oh, it's not at the top of my list. I'm not going to actively go, hey, let's come use ChatGPT, everyone, right now. My daughter's too young. She's not.
That was my question, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Where are they at with age? I don't see how it's going to benefit them right this second.
Yeah, but so like
maybe my son, because he's now getting homework, he's doing things. It's funny. The other day he was like, I have to write a poem for school that rhymes, and I've got to figure out something. I'm like, hey, chat, create a poem for me that's funny for my son's school thing and make it this many lines, and it needs to go for this long. And it came up with something that rhymed and was fun. Yeah, funny to a degree, depending who's listening to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe my son's getting a bit older now where he's getting homework and could utilize it for research purposes, for a few things like that.
Do you think his friends are using it?
He hasn't mentioned anything.
Yeah, but like, so is it a taboo thing? And it's like all of a sudden, because like schools would not be promoting it.
Yeah, of course
not. It defeats the whole educational system.
That's right. The whole education system's fucked in that regard.
Yeah, but so do you think he has no exposure to it at all, and he's just sitting there like?
Yeah, I don't think they have exposure to it like outside of, like in the classroom, like in the school environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have exposure to it.
No, not in the school environment. Do you think he has zero exposure to it, period? Like, do you think he has not come in contact with an LLM?
Yes.
You believe that?
Outside, yeah, I do. Outside of me using it and him seeing me use it, yes. I don't believe he's got contact with it at all. Doesn't have it on his iPad, doesn't have it on his computer. So yes, I do believe that at the moment. Unless one of his friends has it on
that's
maybe.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but not many of his friends have phones either. He's still that old. Do you know what I mean? He's not old enough. Like, he doesn't have a phone himself. So he's not at that age where they've all got phones and using chat and all that sort of stuff. But I'm sure once they do get it.
But they all have access to the
6
internet.
and 7. Yeah, they could probably go on to
an iPad.
Yes. Yeah, but I think he would tell me. You know, hey, I looked up chat and I did this the other day. So I don't believe he has. I'd be really surprised if he had, actually. I'm relatively over what he does. Like, I can see. He'd be more interested in playing video games than going on to chat.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm not exposed in that space. I guess I don't have my head wrapped around it.
But in short, I'm not worried about it. I think it'll get better as time goes on too. So the next couple of years, like imagine how much different. It's going to be so different in a couple of years. Think how far it's come in the time that it's been around.
So
Now imagine
for 2.5 years.
Yeah, but imagine in another 2 years,
Almost 3 years.
what it's going to be like. You would think it'd be fairly different in what it can do and how powerful it is.
Well, they're expecting it to be, based on the current measurements, it should be 16 times better than what it is in 2 years.
Yeah.
So 16 times where it's at now.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.